for you, Marco.
There you go. Good chance of a good matchup tonight, actually. Arizona State, Vanderbilt in college basketball. This is going to be what could have been for Vanderbilt all season long. They lost the freshman guard who arguably was the best freshman point guard in the country, and he's out for the year. Vandy's still scrapping, but, it's not going to be the season they hoped for. Arizona State, I don't know. It's tough to really give the Pac-12 teams much consideration at all right now. This conference is really having its problems. Arizona State's actually playing about as well as anybody in the league.
They are. There's one loss on the season, and that is the loss was to Nevada, and they were in that game the whole way. And for anybody that hasn't seen Nevada, and most people have,
boy, they're good.
This is probably the best team you've never seen in college basketball this year. They're playing well, so don't put a lot of stock in that loss. They came back, bounced back after that loss on the road at Georgia, an SEC team, and now got to play another SEC team. I like Arizona State. I would like them more if I didn't see who they play next on the schedule, and that's the only problem with this game. They got a big game on Saturday, Dave, in their building. They got Kansas coming to their house. You might have a little bit of a look ahead, but because they had a scrappy game Saturday night, I think they get the job done here. I'll lay the small number with Arizona State in a pick-the-winner situation.
And, by the way, guys, we would be remiss if we did not congratulate the Runnin' Rebels on a really nice win over BYU. At T-Mobile over the weekend. I don't know how many highlights there are going to be for UNLV this season, but, Chuck, that was a good win for the Rebels.
It was a good win. I think you still look at a team that's got a lot of young players on it. They're still trying to kind of find their identity right now, but I like this team more at this stage of the season than I liked them last year at this point of the season.
Yeah, and always good to beat BYU.
It is.
And to do it in the fashion that they did.
Right,
When was the last time we saw that out of BYU?
A walk-off two-pointer, basically.
Yeah. Haven't seen that in a
fun.
long, long time.
That was exciting. We'll come back. We will break down tonight's Saints-Panthers matchup. It's our Wager Talk marquee matchup next.
The Las Vegas Sportsline.
This is Ken Goodrich of Gettle, and I want you to save money and save your heating and cooling system. A heat pump is basically just an air conditioner running backwards. Instead of pumping cold air into the home and hot air outdoors like it does in the summer, a heat pump reverses that process during the winter. But that means your air conditioner is running round the clock 365 days a year. And with heat pumps, big, expensive problems begin as small, affordable problems that were ignored for way too long. Routine maintenance will keep your heat pump happily doing its job long after everyone else's has laid down and died. Let Gettle rejuvenate your heat pump, and it will say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you 24 hours a day. Just $129. NSCB 79414. No one knows heat pumps like Gettle. Goettl. It'll keep you cool, but it's hard to spell. Call right now, okay?
With John Lyons from Lyons Physical Therapy. So why are physical therapists often the best option to see after you get hurt?
Dave, we specialize in musculoskeletal disorders, which essentially means injuries to muscle, bone, and soft tissue, which are the majority of injuries. So we can identify what the pain source is and if an appropriate referral needs to be made to, say, an orthopedic surgeon, a neurologist, a pain management specialist. So we can do an in-depth screen of the injury and then refer it out to an appropriate medical provider if necessary.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $500 million for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
What's hot today? It's time for the Wager Talk marquee matchup of the night. WagerTalk.com. Start winning now.
Well, whatever hope the Carolina Panthers have of extending their season past Week 17, they have to win this football game tonight. They have gone into a major tailspin. Chuck, this team was 6-2 at one time. They've lost 5 games in a row, and their season ends if they lose tonight. No easy task, as the number 1 seed is coming to town, the Saints.
And it's funny, but, at the halfway point at 6-2, we were thinking about this team. They were only a game behind the Saints at that point, and we were thinking about how good they are, and, they had beaten some good teams, and this was going to be a team to contend with. You're right. They've lost 5 in a row. However, they're 5-1 at home.
Yep.
And they're at home tonight. So I think that helps a lot. You look at a Saint team this is their 3rd game in a row on the road. They played at Dallas on Thanksgiving, the week after, didn't play well that night. Then they went and played against Tampa, although they covered. We don't know how they did it, but they did cover that day.
Tampa special teams helped them cover.
But they did not play well. They didn't score an offensive touchdown in either of those last 2 games in the first half. It's their 3rd road game. And I think the fact that the Rams lost last night, just psychologically, this game, although every game's important, we know they want the number 1 seed. They own tiebreakers over the Rams right now. They're in great shape. They finished the season at home against Pittsburgh and Carolina. I'm not going to say it's not a meaningful game, but maybe it's not quite as meaningful just because the Rams lost.
The flip side of that, of course, devil's advocate, is that the Saints can pretty much get the champagne out of the ice bucket with a win tonight.
Playing with house money.
And Carolina, again, they're just a different team when they're playing at home. I think the big thing there is Cam. Is he 100% or not?
He's not 100%.
I think if they lose tonight, and I know we talked about it off air, I think there's a real possibility at 6-8 you don't see Cam the last 2 weeks of the season.
Dave, you know how we always talk about betting with the app and why it's so important? Here's a good reason for you, because whenever Carolina was 6-2, if you actually had a paper ticket, you might have tore that son of a gun up.
Under win total?
Yeah.
I've given it up. That's dead.
But because it's on the app, you can't tear it up. It's on the app. So another good reason.
We can delete it, but but I wouldn't do that to you. No.
But you look at Carolina tonight, and I look at this game, and when they lost last week, Dave, my first reaction was, that's it. Put a knife. You put the steak, fork, done. Forget about them. But then I turn the page and I see the schedule, and where are they at? Oh, Monday Night Football. Primetime game. Even if this wasn't for their playoff lives, which it is, they would come to play tonight because it's their only chance. They want to make a statement in front of a national audience. So you're gonna get the best effort out of them tonight. They have nothing to lose.
Right.
Riverboat Ron can gamble tonight, and it's not going to hurt them because they lose, the season's over. So if you're looking at 4th and 2s, 4th and 3s, go ahead and go for it. What do you got to lose? And I know
2-point conversions instead of extra points.
Yeah, that might cost your season. Hey, tonight, go for it. You need it.
First half is going to be big tonight because if the Panthers are in it, then they'll probably stay in it for 40 or for 60, I should say. If they fall behind early, it could be just mail it in time.
As we said real quickly, that has not been the MO of the Saints the last couple of weeks. They've really struggled in the first halves. I mean, he hasn't thrown for 300 yards in back-to-back games. He's really struggled offensively and on the road. We talk about the home and road slips for Big Ben. Not quite as dramatic for Breeze, but when you're outside, he's not quite as productive as he is playing on that carpet in the Superdome.
Yeah, make it outside on grass.
Time for our LPT Play of the Day.
It's the LPT Play of the Day. Tonight's best bet from Lions Physical Therapy. Your 5-star rated specialists.
Hey, we've heard from John Lyons a couple of times during the show. Some spots I recorded with him. Find out more. Follow Lions Physical Therapy at LionsPTLV on Twitter. The website, LionsPTLV.com. The phone number, 702-476-0222. We didn't tell you about all the good stuff at Wager Talk. Kind of ran short on time, but I'll tell you that my $9 play, it's $9 Monday. All the plays are $9. I went with the Montreal Canadiens, minus about 140 at home against the Bruins. Bruins starting to really miss Bergeron and Chara. And even though they've been good in second of back-to-backs, I think it's a tough spot for them tonight with Halak and Nets. I like the Canadiens in the game for our LPT Play of the Day. Chuck Esposito, thank you, sir. Marco D'Angelo, thank you, sir. I'm Dave Coken. We thank you for listening, most of all. And we hope you'll do it again tomorrow on the Las Vegas Sportsline.